Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Right, so Summer of Pain week 3 is here and Mysterio is quite undoubtedly hardest opponent we have had to face so far, but thankfully he does have some answers. So today's video I'm gonna do my best to guide you guys through this fight the best I can, but keep in mind that it has only been a couple of hours since the fight has gone live, so I obviously do not have every single possible solution, but I will recommend several champion matchups. I will showcase a solo or two, and we're gonna go through all the most important things in this fight in particular. Now, first of all, the nodes. So we have Acid Wash, which means you deal pretty much no damage, or you deal 10% of your damage unless Mysterio is poisoned, but that's the trick with Mysterio. Mysterio is poison immune unless he is armor broken. Now, thankfully, that has been taken care of by that attacker special burst lockdown node, where you place armor break and heal block on Mysterio every single time you throw a special attack. Nano Plague is kind of annoying node, but it does not necessarily prohibit robot champions to be used in this fight either, even though there's only like one champion that could possibly be used, maybe two actually. But yeah, because Nano Plague basically strips away your immunity. If you would get a poison placed on you, you get a shock debuff instead, but you do not necessarily get many poisons placed, if any, on you, so you can still use a robot champion if that is your best solution. Now, Matador makes this fight even more tricky, because only way you can gain power is whenever Mysterio activates his special attack. Then we have Enhanced Visibility and Toxic Behavior, which grants Mysterio increased power gain unless his helmet is broken, and Toxic Behavior basically puts poison on you if he reaches 3 chemical gas charges, so you do want to be very aggressive unless you're using a poison immune character or a champion that does not take damage from poison. But once again, that attacker special burst, lockdown, and armor break that you get from that node pretty much sorts out majority of the issues in this fight. So the only thing that you really need to focus on is the acid wash. You need to be able to inflict poison if you want to deal your normal damage. Now, there are some champions that can still work without poison debuff, but those are going to be very long fights. So ideally, we're going to be looking at champions who have access to poison. Right, first off, I'm going to show you guys a solo with my 5-star Immortal Abomination. Now, I did do a different solo on my stream, but I quickly recorded another one for this video because I did use a different kind of like ramp-up method, because on the stream I started with 2 level 1s, dropped my level 2, and then just spammed level 1s. Here I'm going to do level 1, level 3, level 2, and then spam level 1s. But there's also something quite important that I do want to show to you guys that you pretty much kind of have to be able to do in order not to get cornered, and that is one small nuance that actually makes the world of a difference. But first, we obviously need to get to level 3, and it will come in play now. Here we can see that once I'm going to parry Mysterio, I'm going to stop dashing back. I'm going to start standing right next to him, and I'm going to be waiting for stun timer to almost expire before kind of like trying to predict his attack and parry him again. And even if he doesn't attack, that's perfectly fine, because I can always dash back later, or he dashes back himself and I gain some extra spacing. It's very, very, very important in order not to get cornered like that. So you can see he finally drops another special one, so I'm about to get level 3. And here I kind of, because I know that I'm going to be dropping level 3, I'm not too worried about my spacing, but always make sure that you just parry, stay close to him ideally, and do not dash back at all times, because getting cornered is very easy and common in this fight, and that typically, well, decides between a solo or a good run or getting wrecked in a corner. So here, once again, we're gonna see that I'm gonna parry, and I'm standing right next to him, and I didn't dash back. He ended up dashing back himself, and I got some extra positioning, some extra footing. But now that we can see that I have built up to my level 2, and now basically the main fight starts. You can see that 40 something hits in, I have only done like 7% damage, largely thanks to that level 3. But now business is open, and Mysterio is gonna get clapped slowly but surely. The other key to this fight is aggressive tempo, because it's all about maintaining your poisons and baiting out his level 1. But here we can see that he's very stubborn, and this is the critical point in the fight. If he does not throw his level 1, you're kind of in quite big trouble. Sometimes his AI is like notoriously heavy friendly, and it's just not good time for anybody involved. And right here we can see that I already basically run out of poisons, and here I had to make a conscious decision to throw my level 1 before his damage reflect had expired and take a bunch of damage back. Otherwise I would risk my toxic aura expiring completely, and I would have to kind of start building up all over again. So that is very, very important, not to let your aura expire and be able to throw your level 1s quickly. And in general, the entire smoothness of the fight depends how aggressive you can be and how quickly you can bait out those level 1s, because if you can activate level 1 frequently, that means he will spend vast majority of the fight under the effect of armor break, which means he will not be poison immune, which means he will do your normal damage, and on top of that, he will gain less power himself, and you will be able to be more aggressive, and you will not lose positioning. So the key to success in this fight pretty much is baiting out level 1s and being good at it. Whenever he starts dancing around like this, you're pretty much in trouble. We can see that at this point my toxic aura has nearly expired, and this is another great example why that level 3 was so important, because had I not thrown my level 3, my toxic aura had been expired at this point already. So it's kind of fitting that this isn't like a perfectly smooth run. I think on stream I actually did have a better run than I do now, but this kind of like perfectly illustrates the problems that you might face if he goes passive. And the key to solving those issues is always trying to bait out the level 1s as quickly as you can and drop your own level 1s as early as possible. Do not try to go for like full combos and none of that. You just want to make sure that you are able to armor break him with your special 1 thanks to special burst lockdown node, gain those poisons, gain that positioning, and make sure your poison aura does not expire. And past that, this is a fairly straightforward fight, not too much to worry about here. Just don't get hit, and get used to dexing fully or at the very least partially Mysterio's level 1. Otherwise you're gonna eat a ton of block damage, and there will be no way that a 5-star will be able to kind of like take that. 6-star rank 3 maybe, but I don't have a 6-star rank 3 Immortal Abomination, so I had to make do with a 5-star. I was running Liquid Courage Double Edge, but I have absolutely no boosts active in this fight either, so obviously boosting up probably is a good idea, especially if you are using a 5-star champion. But that is it. This fight is over. So I will leave a description to the stream that I just had where I did the entire testing thing. So this was my on-stream fight, basically. I actually did it a bit quicker than I did in the video, because I didn't go for level 3. I just went for 2 level 1s, then I dropped level 2, and then I just kept spamming my level 1s. But he was quite significantly smoother, and we can see I think that was like 108 hits in that fight. Something like that. We can... Either way. Other champions. Now is the important thing of other champions. Black Widow Clairvoyant can do quite decent. I think I messed up first fight quite badly, and I didn't definitely play the best I can, but I could quite comfortably, without any significant practice on my like first or second run, take down 20+% of Mysterio. You want to basically just keep spamming your level 1s. So here's the dilemma though. So you can go in without Liquid Courage and Double Edge, and you will be dealing less damage. You can see that I messed up there. Or you will die of recoil if you go in with Liquid Courage and Double Edge and recoil active. However, with a couple of revives, I definitely suspect that Black Widow Clairvoyant is very capable of getting this fight done. Getting your poison curse stance thing and just spam heavies and level 1s, and you should be okay. So there is that one. So past Black Widow Clairvoyant, I think I brought in Apocalypse, and Apocalypse is definitely 100% capable of soloing this fight. I think I had one of the better runs at some point here, but again, because I had recoil active, I basically just, well, offed myself. With Apocalypse, I ended up just mainly spamming level 1s, but if you really do want to, you can build him up properly with 2 level 2s and level 1 and then another level 1 and then probably just keep on spamming level 1s and heavy attacks. I'm not sure whether you will be able to squeeze in that level 3 whilst keeping Mysterio armor broken, which obviously is super important. So my personal recommendation is just get 1 or 2 debuffs on, maintain aggressive, drop your level 1s. I'm sure somebody else will have posted like a full solo, but that was not quite viable for me due to recoil here. But Apocalypse is definitely one of the better options as well. I did like 40-something% damage before I recoiled myself out. Tried Mysterio, didn't work, was not a great idea at all. Tried out Archangel, and Archangel works fantastic. So we're gonna see one more bit decent. Yeah, I think this was just good enough attempt. So Archangel worked quite well. We can see that I got him down to about 60% before I made a mistake. But again, you do not want to have recoil to deal with in this fight. And with Archangel, it's relatively easy. You just want to spam heavy attacks, let him hit you, well, parry him a couple of times and spam level 1s to armor break him. But yeah, so I did mess up there, but Archangel definitely can either solo or two-shot the fight, so Archangel's perfectly viable option as well. And I actually had a bit of fun with Nick Fury, and I had a bit of problem with controls there again, but Nick Fury is a viable option. It will simply be a long fight, and you need to keep him quite aggressive. With Nick Fury, you bypass miss, and you're unblockable, and you just want to push him to level 2 all the time, because that will place power drain on you, and you will heal from willpower from that power drain debuff all the time, but obviously you're going to take quite significant amount of time. If you do not have any better options, Nick Fury can work. So either way, let's go to the last part of this video. I don't want to keep you guys too long. So what are the better Mysterio options? So as we discussed already, the top 3 options that I would personally list are also the champions that you are more likely to have ranked up already. Immortal Abomination stood out as the best champion, especially for me, since I was running Liquid Courage and Double Edge. Then Apocalypse, definitely 100% capable of soloing this fight, and so is Archangel, more than likely. Now, after that, another set of decent options that I'm not entirely sure whether you will be able to solo, like with Claire, with Voodoo and Man-Thing, you probably can, but again, far less people have those champions ranked up, especially since Voodoo is not even available as 6-star, so there's no chance you have a 6-star rank 3. But I have heard that Voodoo and Man-Thing both do plenty well also. And then another some less preferred options, I suppose, would be King Groot. I have seen King Groot do this fight, but it would be a very, very, very long fight. Guillotine, I believe 6-star rank 3 took about 450 hits to get the job done. And again, even though she's a robot, so long as you stay aggressive, you can get it done. And then we have Magneto, which you would have to be very, very patient, build up those prowesses slowly, but it is also achievable. And then we have Nick Fury. There are probably some other options. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody does it with like Proxima or Cosmic Ghost Rider in a relatively long fight. But I believe that these are kind of like more commonly available ones right now. There is one more option for many people should Diablo buff turn out to be good, because in theory Diablo should be really good in this fight, because you have healing, you don't take any poison damage, so you're going to be healing from willpower. He has his natural healing built in there, and yeah, you have access to a ton of poisons, so Diablo should be able to do this fight quite well after his buff. If you have any more options, let me know, drop a comment in the comment section. But I think that is it. I will not keep you guys any longer. I hope you guys found this video useful, and if you did, well, you know, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all the good buttons, and I will catch you guys soon. See ya! Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the